After having that surgery, I realized how sick I really was. The way I was feeling afterwards, and comparing it to how I was feeling when I was in the Army, I was like, oh my goodness, I was going through it. Hey. So today, I wanted to talk about what actually happened to me in 2023 and 2024 and why I wasn't on my channel all that time. So it's 2025 now. I'm glad you're still here. Hey. It's January 2025 and I'm going to be back on here regularly. I'm really glad to be back, and I think today I want to talk about why I was missing 2023 and 2024. So, January 2025, I am officially a civilian. I am no longer in the Army. I was a medic for 8 years, and in September 2023, I decided to exit the service for full-time entrepreneurship. All of 2024, I was a civilian and I was working on my business. 2023, though, was a really rocky year because I was working at a hospital. I had some very serious health issues that were going on starting in January that year. Throughout the process of me transitioning out of the military, I was also dealing with these very serious health problems. The other issue that I had during that time was transitioning out, having these health problems, but also my leadership not caring really that I was having trouble dealing with all of these things and not really offering any kind of assistance or comfort or space to get these things done. So it was really stressful for me, but I'm really thankful that my family is very supportive, because I would have appreciated to have the support at work, but I had the support at home. The people I worked with, they made it very difficult for me to keep my stress down, because they were over here talking about, you need to go take a PT test, when I'm over here having to get my blood drawn 3 times a week. Like, my priorities are in a different place, you know? It was just really rough. I had 8 different specialties, doctors that I was seeing. I had to get x-rays, blood draws. I had to do all kinds of tests and everything. Just, they were looking at my whole body and trying to see what was wrong with me. It was really rough and it was really scary. January 16th, 2023, I had a severe stomach pain. And I went to the ER to see what was wrong with me. Not the ER, but I went to the urgent care in my hospital just to let them know what was going on with me. And I was really scared because it was extremely painful. Upon first examination, the doctor was thinking that it may be appendicitis. So he set me up for a bunch of tests. They drew my blood, took my urine, all kind of stuff. And I was coming into the hospital for the next 3 or 4 days every day to do various tests. This abdominal pain was unrelenting. It was like, I'd say like a 7 out of 10. I was barely able to walk. And I had this pain consistent for 6 days. It didn't leave or go away or fade at all for 6 days. And we went through all these tests and everything, and they finally discovered what it was. It was uterine fibroids. And if you don't know what fibroids are, they're essentially tumors that appear in the uterus. And they were large. So I had to be ordered to get some x-rays done. I had to get an outer one and a transvaginal one. So it was scary because we didn't know how that happened, but when we saw the images, the tumors were advanced. I'll say it like that. Over the course of the next few months, I was made to go to various specialties. I had to go to cardiology, physical therapy, radiology. Where else did I have to go? I had to go to oncology. I had to do I had to do so much stuff, and it was really stressing me. I had about 2 to 3 medical appointments every single week for 8 months, and still I had my supervisors talking about, you need to run, or you need to da 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 da, and I'm like, I literally am hardly able to walk. I don't understand what you guys are not like getting from this, but my body is failing me. They didn't care though. So I just continued to do what I was doing. I was also in the process of signing myself up for a program that would allow for me to do an internship for my last 6 months of service. I got approved for the program, my company got approved, and my leadership decided to not allow me to do that for their reasons. And I was really disappointed because my job was not really needed. I didn't have any people that I was responsible for. I had a department, but at the same time, it wasn't my full responsibility because that department was also run by another person that was the same rank as me. So I didn't really have a job for real. Anyways, I wasn't able to do my program. So I was in the uniform up until July of that year. I took my terminal leave. In August, I had a hysterectomy, and it was a full abdominal surgery. So my recovery for that was 8 to 10 weeks. It was really, really rough and really scary. When they removed the fibroids, I saw them, and if I wasn't already lying in bed, I think I might have fainted when I saw it, because I didn't know what to expect. Because when I'm looking at these ultrasounds, I don't know what I'm looking at. But when I saw physically what they looked like and how many there were and the size of them, I was like, oh my goodness. And I didn't know how this happened, because I go to the doctor, I get my checkups, I ask for tests, all kinds of things. I don't know how something like this was advanced so much over the years without me seeing it. But I mean, not without me seeing it, without the doctors seeing it. You know what I mean? But again, it's just the horrors of being a Black woman and trying to get suitable medical care. It's just saddening, you know. There's no reason that I should have been so far advanced in this illness when I was consistently going to the doctor, getting x-rays done, getting tests done, getting blood drawn, all these things. There's no reason that should have gone so far. But anyway, I had my surgery. I had a hysterectomy, and at 33 years old, and it was scary. Okay, I mean, I thought I was 34 years old, and it was really scary. It was terrifying. If you are familiar with how a C-section is performed, that is the procedure that I had done, except taking out a baby, it was an organ. So think about that kind of thing, and that's what happened to me. So I live alone. It's just me and my kitties here. So I was really afraid, like, who's going to take care of me? You know, I'm like, am I going to go to my parents' house? But my younger brother stayed with me for some weeks, and he took care of me. He made sure that I didn't hurt myself. He made sure I didn't exert myself at all. He made sure I was laying down, and he fed me. He cleaned my house. He did whatever. And I'm really thankful for that. I'm the eldest child, so I'm used to taking care of him. And he really came through for me. So I really am happy about that. I appreciated him for that. It's a blessing to have people that care about you. So even though throughout my career, I had so many people that were not supportive and actively trying to push me out of my position, I am so thankful that I always had support in my family at home. So my dad came to visit also during that time. He stayed here for a few weeks too, and it was nice. I didn't feel scared anymore. And honestly, once I had that surgery, I felt completely better. Like, I said this so many times to the people in my life, but after having that surgery, I realized how sick I really was over the last few years, because the way I was feeling afterwards and comparing it to how I was feeling when I was in the army, I was like, oh my goodness, I was going through it. I thought I was just pushing through like normal stuff, but that was not normal what I was going through. And I'm so thankful that I feel better now. I'm healthy now. It's been a year and a half since I've been out of the army. Once I recovered, around October 2023 is when I went full-time in my business. I started my business, Bell Ren, in March 2023 while I was still in the army, and I was only able to give it 2 to 4 hours a week because I was full-time in the army. I was working like 50 hours a week. I was away from home at least 10 hours a day at minimum, and it was killing my body. But then when I went on terminal leave, had my surgery, recovered for 2.5 months, and then in October, I went back to work, and I went back to work full-time with my business. That's why 2023 was completely gone. 2023 was me trying to hold on for dear life, literally. Fall of 2023 is when I stopped speaking to one of my closest friends. That ruined the rest of my year. Honestly, like, that ruined the rest of my year. It was like a couple of weeks before her birthday, and I was just so distraught. I was just like, what is going on in my life? Like, why is everything being ripped under me? So a few months I spent sad inside, and then also I had zero income from October to January. $0 coming in. I had to rely on my savings, which I'm so thankful that I am proud of myself that I did. But I had about 5-6 months of savings. So I depleted my savings, and finally in January I started to have income again. But it was a really rough time. The end of 2023 was just the hardest, darkest time for me. It was so difficult. January 2024 comes, we're in a new year. I'm still kind of sad about not having my close friend anymore, and I'm not really able to spend time with other people for various reasons. I'm getting used to not being a soldier anymore. All of my friends have full-time jobs, but I'm at home doing my work, and I just didn't know how to navigate life again. I had to relearn how to do everything, because I had a life before the army, but this has been the last decade of my life, and this is all I've been doing. So I realized how difficult it would be dealing with not seeing people every day, not seeing my friends on a regular basis. It was just a really rough transition. So 2024 was really me trying to get my footing again in terms of income. My income is very low now. It's way less than it was in the army, but it's fine. I have all of my basic needs taken care of. So 2024 was rough emotionally, going through the transition of my entire social circle being gone, my entire work life being flipped upside down, my health being better, but it's just so different. My health being better, but I gained a lot of weight because my body is different now. My body went through a traumatic event, so some things changed in my body. I had to relearn how to feel good in my body. I'm still working on that too. So 2024 was weird, and the reason I never didn't do any budget stuff was because I was just trying to get a handle on my finances in 2024. There was just no consistency whatsoever. There was no predictability. Besides, my income I have is predictable, but at the same time, the stuff that was going on around my finances was just a mess. The last 2 years I've been on a roller coaster. It's just been it's been a lot. And 2023 I was, transitioning out. 2024 I was settling into that transition emotionally. And I knew last year that I wanted to start doing social media for my business, but I don't like creating content. This year I've decided that I will find ways to create content that I feel good about, because the problem I have with creating content is I don't want to just make something for the sake of making something just to put it out there, just so it's there. I want everything I do to be useful in some way. I don't want to just be making stuff and just putting it into the void. People think that the internet is this nebulous space when it's really a tangible resource. It is physically represented in our world somewhere. Anyways, that's like my sustainability and my heart speaking, you know. So that's another reason I didn't want to just make content for my business, because I don't want to just make something just to put it out and have no return of investment, you know. I want to make something that is useful, meaningful, and serves a purpose, but also that has some kind of return. So I'm excited to get back to this specifically. This isn't for my business, but I do really enjoy talking about financial stuff. I'm not an expert. I simply enjoy numbers and money, and it's interesting to me. And I think I have some very interesting perspectives on some topics that relate to personal finance that I want to share that I haven't heard people discuss. So I do want to share some of those. I have like a list of like 60 different video ideas that I just have sitting, and I want to do them because I know that they're interesting. So that's where I've been, you guys. I'm okay. I promise I'm fine. Me and the kitties are fine. I still live alone. So I don't know. I decided that whatever I put out is meaningful in whatever form, however I look, however I feel, whatever I'm putting out is useful and it means something. I'm looking forward to this. And also, I'm on a path to monetize in 30 days. So this is part of that. I'm going to be releasing multiple times a week for at least 30 days. So I've already been 3 days of shorts. I've already done 3 days worth of shorts so far. Today is January 20th. Happy Martin Luther King Jr. Day. And so I have a few long forms that I've done. So this is my third long form that I've done so far. I'm not going to put them out right now. I'm going to put my first one out today, and then I'm going to record another long form today. So you're going to see this outfit again, this look again. So, yeah, I'm glad to be back though. Tell me how your 2024 was. What is something that you feel good about that happened last year? Tell me in the comments, and then we can talk a little more.